सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति हरिः ॐ।
Friends, we have been conducting regular courses on computer, arts and craft, and values education for 18 years, to which language courses have been added later. The COVID-19 pandemic and associated restrictions in human distancing have almost stopped classroom teaching in any level of learning. In our effort to keep the flow of learning in above mentioned areas uninterrupted, we have decided to shift the teaching to online platform that will benefit not only the youth and students of Meghalaya, but those from other states and overseas as well.
Learning any language takes time, effort and dedication. But if you make it a part of your daily life, it becomes a habit. If you want to improve your English, it should become a habit too. So, in order to help you with this, we have designed an English online course where you will be able to polish and brush your language skills, able to do well in your professional life, and most importantly, break the barriers of communication. You can learn this course online in your own pace and at your own time. You can also access our materials to practice your listening, reading, speaking and writing skills. Not only this, you will also get an opportunity to interact with the teachers through live classes and also solve your problems through one-to-one sessions where you can correct your mistakes, work on your problem areas and pronunciation.
In the regular classes in Ramakrishna Mission, and one day one announcement was there about a workshop on English language and communication skills. I was a little curious, so I thought, why not join the course? After completing the workshop, trust me, I had to finish all the course which was introduced in English language and communication skills. And at that time, I was also looking for jobs. And trust me, it has helped to face my interviews so nicely that I cracked my interview and I got the job. And in the job, after getting the job, I was able to deal with people more effectively. It really helped me. This course has really helped me.
We draw our inspiration from the great icon of youth, Swami Vivekananda, who said, if the poor cannot come to education, education must reach them at the plough, in the factory, everywhere.
A very good afternoon to all of you who are connected with us today. We welcome you to this workshop on improving your English in easy steps. This is a 2-day workshop, and in this workshop you will be learning many things which, when practiced every day, you will definitely be able to improve your language skills. And this, as I said, this is a 2-day workshop, so make sure you attend both the days to earn yourself a certificate. Yes, you will be getting a certificate when the workshop is over, so make sure you attend both the days attentively so that you earn yourself a certificate. And during this workshop, be very attentive, as there will be questions which will be asked, and when you know the answer, you can drop them in our chat box, so that later when we complete the session, we will be reading out your names, those who have answered correctly. And if you have any questions, you can drop them in our chat box as well. So let us start today's workshop. Today we have with us Mrs. Darina Hadem, faculty of Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Cultural Center. language training unit. Miss has been teaching language skills for the last 6 years here, and I'm sure you'll be enjoying her session. So happy learning and enjoy your session. And do come back. I have some more good news for you after the session. So I hand over the session to Miss Darina.
Thank you, Ms. Darifia. So here we are finally with this workshop, the first day and the beginning of this 2 days workshop on improving your English in easy ways and easy steps. So I welcome you all again and thank you for giving time to tune in and stay with us for the next 1 hour. We are going to learn many things, and especially we're going to get many easy ways on how we can improve our English on a daily basis on our own at home. All right, so without further delay, let me start. Now, when we talk about learning English, it does not always mean sitting in a classroom and doing those tricky grammar exercises. Well, I am sure your own English teacher or English trainer must have encouraged you to do a lot of other outdoor activities apart from whatever you have been able to learn in the classroom. So, well, this workshop is all about the same thing. Keeping in mind that all of us have got different learning styles, unique learning styles, and also learning abilities. There are different ways and methods that we can adopt to personally improve our language and communication skills. So again, without delay, let us move on straight away to what we have for the workshop today. So I should start by answering 3 important questions about the workshop today. Okay, the questions will be asking why English is important, what is important in learning English, and the most important question of the day is how. How can we follow the right ways and the right means to improve our English? All right, so let's move on. Okay, so the first question is what to learn in English. All right, this is something that we all know. We will definitely have to learn the structure of a language. If not English, any other language, you will have to learn the grammatical structure, whether you like it or not. Because you must have heard your teachers telling you, try not to translate English from your own language or from your own mother tongue. Because whenever we do that, what happens is the structure of our mother tongue and the structure of English is totally different. Okay, and we have to know the rules of grammar. It is very important. Okay, so that is one. The second and the most important thing in English is to learn the skills. Okay, once we have the background, that is the grammar, okay, the grammatical knowledge, we use them with the skills. We call them the language skills in order to communicate efficiently and effectively. All right, now the question is, why do we need to improve our English? Yes, we have been learning that from the time that we joined school till date. Yes, why do we need to improve English? That is the question. All right, there are many points that we can discuss about, but I have narrowed it down to just 4 of them. All right, so let's see one by one. Number 1, it is important, okay, why that we need to improve English. Okay, it's important because it will help us to develop our skills. All right, it will help us to develop skills. If you are somebody who have just passed out, okay, from college looking for a job, it will help you to develop your employability skills. For example, interview skills, okay, telephone conversations, all right, conversational skills. It will help you to develop and improve all of that, okay. Then the second why we need to improve is, yes, we will get to communicate effectively in any situation. Okay, we will get to communicate effectively in any situation, be it in a formal or informal situation. Okay, then the third point is the same thing that I discussed with you earlier. You will get to improve your basic grammar, that is the structure of the language, especially when you have to write down in professional situations, okay, writing letters and emails and all that. And finally, all right, we will get to improve our ability, okay, to do well in the future, all right, to be able to get right jobs and do well professionally, okay. So with this, we have reached the final question, and that is the most important of them all: how to go about improving our English in easy steps. And you know, this first day of the workshop is all about learning those easy steps. Okay, so just as Ms. Darifia has said earlier, we will be doing a lot of activities together, activities which you can again later do on your own with your friends and family. And the more you are active and you interact and connect with those activities, the more fun they will be. Okay, so many a times these activities that we do in English are activities that will in turn help us to improve our language skills. All right, so how? Let's see. I have again narrowed it down to just a few. Okay, so the first thing is practice this. Start practicing this from tonight itself, or maybe tomorrow morning. Read something. All right, read something throughout the day. Even if you do not get time to focus on a very long-term reading process, just read something. It could be from any favorite book that you like, okay, or read the newspaper every morning. If not the whole newspaper, read an article from there. All right, it will help you to develop your language skills, will definitely. Okay, the second, all right, whether you do this consciously or unconsciously, try to surround yourself with people who cannot communicate with you in your mother tongue. Okay, you have no other choice but to connect with them in English, and that is like you know, forcing yourself to speak in the language. Okay, and again, in turn, that will help you to improve your language. Okay, then the next point is practice English whenever and wherever you can. That is, if not with your friends, if you are alone, okay, you can read aloud something. Okay, read aloud something, or even best, the last point, record yourself. Many a times when people try to correct our mistakes, we get offended, right? We do get offended, but that is the only way to improve, okay, by not making the same mistakes again and again. So you are the best guide for your own improvement. If you record yourself and you listen to your own recording later, you know, you can check for errors, and the next time that you read or you speak the same thing, you will definitely not make the same mistake that you did in the previous recording. Okay, so with that, I will end this first part. Okay, over to Miss.
So that was very interesting. So I'm sure that all of you will be following what she has said, that is, read newspapers every day. If you cannot read the entire newspaper, at least an article, okay, read that. and surround yourself with English speakers. Alright, try to speak in English as much as you can so that you'll be able to improve yourself. And not only that, practice it every day. The more you practice, the more it becomes perfect. So Miss will be continuing her session again, so let's see what's in store for us more. Over to you, Miss.
So welcome back. Welcome back to this workshop. Now, before I start with this session, I would like you to be more active listeners. Okay? I just want to remind you of a very common quotation which you might have heard, okay? Might have seen it many times. Alright? This is a quotation that was given by a very famous Greek philosopher, Zeno. Okay? He says that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Okay? We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And I believe that he has given this quotation, okay, with an aim to make us understand that active listening is very important. We need to listen twice than speak. Alright? One major failure of communication, okay, from what I experience and I encounter is that many a times we are very fast in responding, okay, responding to messages without even understanding what the message was about, what the aim of the message was about. So, you know, Zeno was very wise in giving this quotation, okay, to help us understand that even God himself has given us 2 ears so that we learn how to listen more. Listen more simply means listen to understand the message, okay, not just listen and respond. Alright, so with this, let us start with a very simple activity. You have the chat box, alright, next to the video in your screen. Be ready to type. Just like you type text messages to your friends every time on WhatsApp or Facebook or Twitter, do the same for this today. Alright, and you will definitely get a reward if you are the first one to answer. We will be checking that from here. Okay, so let's start. Now for this first activity, I will be reading out some instructions. Very simple instructions in just one sentence. Alright? And the challenge is that I will not repeat. I will be reading this instruction only once and you can just mentally guess or decide what the object is. Okay? Alright? I'll give you an example. If I say, draw a circle, alright, with 2 dots inside the circle, okay, and inverted, okay, inverted C. Alright, maybe you might picture something that looks like a smiley, okay. So, I will be reading these instructions. Let's start right away and be ready with typing your guesses in the chat box, okay. So, listen to me, listen to the first instruction. This is an object which is like a cube, C-U-B-E, which is like a cube. It is a squared object, okay? And there is a bow or a ribbon on the top of that square. What is it? Please write your answers in the chat box. I move on to the second instruction, okay? Here, there is a circle. Okay, you draw a circle, alright? There should be 2 straight lines that form a triangle inside the circle. Okay, so that was the activity. Now, what are the answers that we got, Miss, in the chat box? Any answers? Any guesses?
Not yet.
Yes, ma'am.
Not yet.
All right.
So people are still trying to guess the answer. So we'll give them time. Okay, you have time to guess your answers. So we'll proceed ahead.
All right. Okay. So should I go to the answers or should I move on to the other activities?
Okay, we will give them another 5 seconds. So
All
another
right.
5 seconds to guess your answer.
Okay, that's good.
Alright, so we can have the answers, miss.
Okay, so based on the first instruction that I've given, you might have drawn something like this. Okay, a squared object, a cube, and simple, there's a bow on the top. So what is this? Okay, now you must have guessed it right. Yes, a gift box or a present, wrapped present. Okay, and the second one, that circle with a triangle inside, that looks like a clock. Okay, so that was just the beginning of the activity together. All right, now with that activity, I'm sure you must have been able to to understand that listening actively and listening to focus on what you hear is very, very important. You see, I intentionally did not repeat the instructions, okay, because that was all about testing your skill of listening. And many a times, when people read broadcasts, messages, or give instructions, they do not have time to repeat the same thing again and again. So you have to practice to actively listen to such things. Okay, so now let's move on to a few more activities. I will be playing some simple sounds. Okay, but before I play those simple sounds, all right, I want you to cooperate with me. All right, wherever you are, just relax for 2 seconds. Leave your phone, leave everything that you're doing, and just relax for 2 seconds. All right, start. All right, so here we are back. Now, my question is, just recall back the 2 seconds that you were silent. Okay? What are the things that you have heard? Here I have heard the sound of some vehicles outside the building. Yes? Maybe you might have heard many of these things. Maybe shuffling of feet. Yes? If you were in a quiet and peaceful environment, the ticking of your room clock. All right? Then maybe you might have heard the banging of the door, or the sound of a vehicle starting, or the sound of a horn. Right? Now anyway, that was just a warmer. There's nothing, there's no answer to this. It's just what you hear. You see, trying to focus on things around you. Alright? So let's move on to a few more activities. Now here I am going to play very simple sounds. Sounds that you hear every day. Okay? I will play that, and you listen and write down the answer in the chat box again next to the video. Okay, the moment you hear the sound, start guessing and write down. There is, no minus points to any wrong answer. So please interact and connect. Okay, let me have the sound, please. That was the sound of a clock ticking. Yes, you must have guessed it right. Now let's have the next sound, please. So what are your guesses? We get any? Right? Okay, maybe the ladies have guessed that right. Yes, sound of the things in the kitchen. Yes, when you cook, when you boil, or when you fry something in a pan. Okay, now let's have the last sound, please. Very simple one. Yes. Okay, you must have guessed that right. Early morning, when you stir the tea inside the cup. Okay, before sipping your tea. So, with that, we shall move on with a few more activities which actually do every now and then. Yes? You interact, or you call someone, or you speak to someone face to face. Alright? Conversations. So I will be playing some simple conversations, very short conversations, and please again be active, because at the end of these audio I have a question based on what you have just heard. Alright? So let us have the first one. This is a conversation between two friends. We have Maya and Sita. Alright? So let's listen to Maya.
That film was good, though I don't think the actor was as good as he usually is.
Now Sita.
I know what you mean. What a pity.
Okay, the question. Do you think Sita agree with Maya in that conversation? Yes or no? We get any answers? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, some of them have answered, so we'll still let others answers as well.
Okay. So again the question, do you think Sita agree with Maya? So the simple answer is yes. Okay, so let's move on to the next conversation, please. This is the same thing. You have to listen, and I have a question at the end.
I think the longest river is the Nile in Egypt.
Okay, and then?
Are you sure about that? I think it's the Amazon.
So the question, do you think the speakers have the same opinion? The answer, do you think the speakers have the same opinion? The answers, no. Yes? So one was saying the longest river is Nile. One was saying no, it is the Amazon. Okay, let's move on to the next and last recording. This is a conversation between two friends again. There's a female and a male. Okay, let's check out.
Suzanne seemed relaxed this evening.
Actually, I thought the opposite.
So the question here, does the lady have the same opinion as the gentleman in the audio? Yes, some answers. Do we have? No. Okay. So again, with those activities, again, I am sure you understood that, especially when it comes to spoken communication, it is very important to listen. If you don't listen, you might be able to speak very well. You might be able to speak correctly. But if you do not connect to the message, okay, there will definitely be a breakdown in communication. Okay, so we shall move to a few more activities here. I will read one small article. Okay, this has been taken from the World Health Organization news, and after this I will be asking you just one question. Okay, so please listen. I shall start. Most people who get COVID-19, now all of us are talking about COVID-19 and coronavirus. So most people who get COVID-19 have mild or moderate symptoms and can recover. If you have a cough, fever, and difficulty in breathing, seek medical care early. Call your health facility by telephone first. If you have fever and live in an area with malaria or dengue, seek medical care immediately. I repeat this article before I ask you this question. Okay, again. Most people who get COVID-19 have mild or moderate symptoms and can recover. If you have a cough, fever, and difficulty breathing, seek medical care early. Call your health facility by telephone first. immediately. Now my question right away. Most people who get COVID-19 recover from it. Yes or no? Please send your answers. I repeat, most people who get COVID-19 recover from it. Yes or no? Any answer, miss?
Yes, some of them are answering.
Yes. So yes, we do recover if we get COVID-19. It is not a deadly disease. Alright? So with this, there are two more audios that I am going to play. So I would like you to again listen to these. These are more comprehensive. They are interviews, alright? Interviews, and also some are monologues. There are just two of them. I would like you to listen to them very carefully, not just learn from those articles, but also there will be questions that I will ask right after the audio. Okay, so let's have the audio, sir.
A good night's sleep.
At exam time, it is important to sleep well. Today we have Dr. Khanna with us in the studio, and he is going to give us 5 top tips for getting a good night's sleep. Welcome to the show, Dr. Khanna.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Let's start with tip 1. Don't go to bed with the television on. Some people think they can sleep well with the TV on, but the noise and lights mean you don't really sleep well, so turn it off. Tip 2. Don't think too much before bedtime. Do your hardest homework earlier in the evening. Do easier homework later. If your brain is too busy and full of ideas, it takes longer to get to sleep. Tip 3. Don't play video games for an hour before you go to sleep. They also make your brain too busy and active. Tip 4. Turn off your cell phone when you go to bed. What is so important that you can't wait until the morning? If possible, leave your phone in another room. Tip 5. Play music if you like, but don't play it too loud. Turn the sound down low.
Thank you, Doctor. That is very useful advice for our young listeners.
Okay, so you can start writing your answers in the chat box. You will just have to write down true or false. Okay, I'll read. Okay, number 1. The guest in the studio is a teacher. T or F. Okay. Second, it is good to turn your mobile off when you go to sleep. True or false? Third, it is bad to think a lot before going to bed. True or false? And finally, some people can sleep well with the television on. True or false? Okay, so let me go straight away to the answers that I have. Number 1, you can tick yourself. Number 1 is false. Okay, the guest in the studio was a doctor, Dr. Khanna. Number 2, it's true. Okay, number 3, true. And the last one is false. Okay, so with this we shall have the next audio on giving some advice for appearing your exams. Okay, so let's have the audio, please.
Advice for exams. Morning, everyone. Quiet, please. Right. Okay. So, today I'm going to give you some advice to help you prepare for the exams next week. So, make some notes as I'm talking. Please. Everybody ready? Now, while you're studying, eat food that gives you energy. Don't be tempted to eat sweets or drink cola. Sugar won't help help you study, but fruit and cereals will. Apples actually are specially good. Find a comfortable place with plenty of light when you study, but not too comfortable, or you'll fall asleep. Try and keep a positive mind. It is easier to study when you are positive and relaxed. Now, if you start feeling anxious, have a little break. Go out for a stroll around the block. Don't try to learn everything. There isn't time. Just choose the important things, the things that will get you the most points or marks in the exam. And if you aren't sure about this, ask me. First, learn the main ideas and don't worry too much about the details. If you have time, you can come back later and read the details. Make note of these key points and read them. Then cover them up and try to remember all the points. Now, it might be boring, but repetition helps you remember. Use past exam papers to study. They will help you understand what kind of questions come up. There are plenty of past exam papers in the library. You can photocopy them and take them home. Take regular breaks while you are studying. A 5-minute break every half an hour is usually enough. Get some fresh air and stretch your arms and legs. Drink a glass of water too. It's important to keep hydrated. And last but not least, good luck. I'm sure you'll all do your best.
Okay, so that was a very long one. And I have just one question from this audio clip. Okay, listen to it very carefully. Do you think having sugar products will help you to study well for your exams? Yes or no?
Yes, we are having many who are answering them, so keep answering. We will be reading out your names towards the end of the session.
Okay, so the correct answer is no. Alright, so with this we have reached the end of the first day of our workshop on improving your English in easy steps. We have practiced a few steps together today. I'm sure those are the things that you can also do on your own with your students if you are a teacher, with your children if you are a parent, or even with your friends. Okay, they are fun activities, but they will help you to improve your English. Okay, so with that I have just 4 tips. Okay, 4 tips to give you, all right? And these are things that you can practice on your own, all right? So let's see the 4 tips that we have. The first one is do not translate, okay? So many a times, of course, if you are somebody who are not used to speaking in English, we feel very comfortable to just translate from our own mother tongue or native language. We can do that, but we need a lot of effort and correction to make sure that in the future we do not just translate the structure from our mother tongue, but try to learn the structure so that your English will be polished and fluent. Then the second is listen to yourself again. The same thing. Many times try to record yourself and listen to yourself. And if you're not happy with whatever you have done, you can ask your friends or even your teacher to listen and give their honest comments and feedback. Okay? The third point is do not depend on subtitles. You might be thinking what subtitles, but many of us like to watch movies and films a lot, right? And many of the movies nowadays, especially the animations, always have subtitles at the end of at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so there are times that when we are tired or when we relax and watch the movie, we do not listen that much, but we try to read what is written here, which is of course a very good practice that will help you to improve your reading skills, but it will definitely not help you to improve your listening. Okay, so if you want to improve listening, do not depend on those subtitles. Okay, do not depend. Try to listen. to different types of English. Listen to varieties of English from different speakers. Okay, that is a challenging task to practice your listening skills. Alright, and finally, we keep on saying this again and again, practice, practice, practice. Anywhere and everywhere. If you are alone or if you are with your friends. Okay, so with this, we have come to the end of this session. I would like to thank you for your precious time of tuning in to this workshop today, and I would like to encourage you to please tune in again tomorrow, same time, for the continuation of this workshop. In fact, the very interesting part of what you are going to do with what you have learned today. Okay, so with that, I will end this session here, and I will go back to over to Miss Darifia. Okay, thank you.
Alright, so it was a wonderful session with Miss Darina. I hope all of you enjoyed, and I'm very happy to say that all of you participated in this workshop. We cannot name all of you, but those early birds who have managed to give us the answer in few seconds are Pooja, Daniel, Sheikh Mujibur, Ayushman, Chandan, Vineet, Srijaka, Krishna, Ibaraide, Neeraj, Rahul, Trisha, Shrija, Rishi. All of you have managed, not only them, but all of you have participated in this workshop actively. So I hope you have learned a lot in this workshop, and do come back tomorrow. And as I promised that there is some good news, I will be sharing a good news with you towards the end. So the good news is, but again, like I said, we'll be meeting again tomorrow. So what's the hurry? I'll tell you the good news tomorrow. So make sure you come back tomorrow. And before we sign out, we have a message from one of our faculty members. Let's see what she has for us.
So, hello everybody, how is it going with Miss Darina? I'm sure you are learning a lot with active listening. You have exactly 24 hours to talk to me, and I'm in a video, but I'm a real person. So tomorrow we shall meet and we will have more and more speaking practices. So meanwhile, practice listening and we shall have fun tomorrow. Thank you.